Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Amperson. Good morning. Wait a minute. What?
Whoa.
Oh, my. The Phillies just hit another home run. Unbelievable. Sorry.
It's possible. they were banging the curveballs last night.
Whoo, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were timing him up pretty good. Eek.
Was fun to watch.
It was fun. Yeah, if you were rooting for the Phillies, like I think you and I are,
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
Boy, kind of gets them in a pretty good position. Of course, there's some games to play yet, but they're at home, and that crowd is all over it.
Yeah, that crowd's nuts.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Fun to watch, and they make a difference. It seems to me like anyway. Well, Phillies are 6-0 at home, right?
I think
in
so.
In the postseason, I think.
Yeah.
Undefeated at home. Wow.
Yeah. Cheaters eventually lose. That's what we're hoping.
We'll see what happens. But, man, last night was quite a display.
It was. For you folks who don't know, Phillies were knocking it out of the park last night right off the first inning, and they just punished them.
Five home runs?
Yeah, tied a record, I think.
In the first, and I think they all came in the first 5 innings, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I don't know for sure, because then it looked like they had it in hand, and I went to bed.
You too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it happened with me. Like, I go to bed.
I think they're all right, and then
I'm tired.
I'll know when I get to work in the morning, because it'll be the first thing on the news, whether they held on to the lead, which they did handily. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of fun. It's November. We're still playing baseball. Basketball has started at the pro level already.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go till June. Always something to watch, isn't there?
Sports, and more sports.
All the time. We missed a couple birthdays yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And I haven't got an update on birthdays today. So I thought we'd go back and wish some very nice people a birthday wish. Kevin Richardson celebrating a birthday yesterday. Happy belated birthday, Kevin. And happy birthday to Angie Crow over in Arnold. Angie, happy birthday to you, and thanks for putting up with Smokey. We appreciate it. Don't know how you do it. And I don't have any current birthdays locally, so if you're having a birthday out there today, happy birthday. Hope I get this name right. You're celebrating with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Garoppolo.
Thank you.
Quarterback, San Francisco quarterback?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Garoppolo.
Garoppolo. He's 31 today. I don't understand this little phrase. Maybe you can help me. It's the 31st trip around the sun for San Francisco 49ers quarterback. What does that mean?
I don't know. Is that a... I don't know if I've heard that. I assume it's a phrase that just has to do with your birthday.
Okay.
A trip around the sun would be a year? I don't know.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. As our friend Jake would say, whatever. K.D. Lang is 61 today, Grammy-winning singer-songwriter, and she is 61 today. Chris Walla, 47 today, guitarist and songwriter for the band Death Cab for Cutie. And Sean Connon is 56 today, known for his roles in The Young and Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful. He also was on General Hospital.
Oh, wow.
And played Mike Barnes in the Karate Kid films. Does that ring a bell?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Mike Barnes in the Karate Kid films.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. We don't know a lot of things. What are we doing on this show if we don't know anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can tell you
I don't know what we're doing.
One thing for sure, it's Cookie Monster Day today.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, man. We'll have to play, wonder if our friend over there will play C is for Cookie. You know the song that Cookie Monster would always C is for Cookie. That's good enough for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what fun. Cookie Monster Day, birthday. A few weeks ago, they revealed that Cookie Monster's real name is Sid.
I would have never known that. Really? Cookie
Yeah.
Monster has a first name?
A few weeks ago, he revealed he has a first name. It's Sid.
I'll be.
The Sesame Street character was created in 1969 and actually got its start in a bunch of snack food commercials. And Jim Henson then picked up on that and, of course, made him a big star. Cookie Monster back then was green and had terrifying teeth when he first got started. He mellowed some. This is also National Broadcast Traffic Professionals Day today, and we have one of those in our
Oh, that would be
midst.
Kristen here.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So, happy National Broadcast Traffic Personnel's Day. Not the people who report traffic jams. We're talking about people like Kristen who program all the commercials and keep track of which ones ran and which ones get paid for and which ones don't. And yeah, thank you, Kristen.
Well, I'm sure that the rest of the staff would say we should celebrate and all go out for dinner.
They're all looking for something to celebrate. We were talking about it yesterday. Well, we did have a fun day the other day. National Deviled Egg Day today.
Oh, boy.
They were invented in the 1800s, but became a go-to house party snack in the 60s and 70s, back when people didn't care about what their breath smelled like. Because deviled eggs don't really, they're, you know.
Used to love the deviled egg.
I know what
Just
happened.
used to love it. Then we had the deviled egg contest here at Casey and I, KBPN, and I don't think I've eaten a deviled egg since.
It's Bob Bull's fault.
Ugh.
Actually, I still eat them, but I don't want one of Bob's.
Yeah.
He overdid this.
Yeah, we had a who could make the best deviled egg, and everybody made. I think everybody on staff made a batch.
Poor Heidi.
Of deviled eggs, and the deal was you had to taste everybody's deviled egg.
Oh.
And we got to Bob's, and I'm just talking about it. The taste forms again in my mouth. Oh my goodness, it was. Love Bob, but that was horrible.
It was horrible.
That was just awful. I don't know what he put in it.
Heidi Kramer was
was
with us. She
terrible.
She lost a couple days work out of that.
Oh,
Rick
man.
Nelson was involved in that too. I think he makes really good deviled eggs.
Yeah, I think Rick entered the competition.
Yeah. But
I don't think Rick came out and was part of the taste test, though.
no, he just brought some out.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, or he wouldn't like deviled eggs anymore either.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so deviled egg day.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have school lunch menus? Or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not for November yet. Not that I've seen.
Okay. So we're going to play the game. It's Runza Day. That means we'll have a Runza prize for you. And Brent has a question he's now gathering up.
I hope so.
He's trying to find it.
Oh, wait a minute. I apologize. Here are the lunch menus.
Oh, well.
They're right here.
Do those two. Hand up.
Okay. I don't know if this is half, but I'll give you those.
Okay.
Sorry, Dave.
No
They
problem.
were laying here and I didn't see them.
Ansley today, they're having ribs with all the goodies alongside, and that's at Ansley today.
Thetford today, sweet and sour chicken at Thetford Public School.
And Selma Myrna, soft-shelled beef tacos, fish nuggets with breadsticks, also having the chicken BLT shaker with roasted flatbread, vegetables, fruit, and milk.
Let's see, Loop City today for lunch, pulled pork sandwich and baked beans on the menu at Loop City.
Today at Arnold. Hope I'm reading this correctly. Yes, Sloppy Joe's on a bun at Arnold today.
All right, Gothenburg today. Some of their choices are being shown as Sloppy Joe, taco soup, pizza, and chicken noodles among your choices at Gothenburg today.
Broken Bow Middle School, High School. Much like Anselmo Myrna's have soft shell tacos, fish nuggets with breadstick. They do have a fresh baked combo sub and ham and turkey shaker with roasted flatbread, and My Way Wing Station with breadsticks, vegetables, fruit, and milk at Broken Bow today.
SEM today, chicken breast on the menu today at SEM.
Cozad, they always have lots of good things to eat. Chicken patty sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly with yogurt, buffalo chicken grilled cheese, mixed greens, taco salad, fresh picks, and corn, chilled fruit, fresh fruit, milk. It's all at Cozad today.
At Litchfield today, Crispito on the menu at Litchfield.
At Callaway, they're having pepperoni cheese sticks. And at Sandhills Dunning today, it's tater tot casserole and green beans. And we'll see if we can get a hold of that Prairie Pioneer Center menu for you as well. Give them a call, let them know you're coming, and you can have whatever that good meal is today, but you need to call them by 9 o'clock.
Ready for the game?
Let's play the game.
All right, a new batch of questions.
Okay.
Long before colonialism, Native Americans lived in what is now the United States. When colonists arrived on their land, many were forced to move and deny their cultural heritage. November is Native American Heritage Month, so we are asking questions about some of their cultural traditions that have endured over time. Here's your question. Mounds constructed by Native Americans can be found in a number of places throughout the U.S. Scholars believe they were built for all of the following purposes except.
Except.
Okay? Yeah, so this would be like one of those not
all right.
questions. Your choices are burial sites, temples, honeymoon locations for newlyweds, or trade locations. Mounds constructed by Native Americans can be found in a number of places throughout the United States. Scholars believe they were built for all of the following purposes except which? Burial sites, temples, honeymoon locations for newlyweds, or trade locations. If you know, call us at 872-2801.
Ben is in a sticky situation.
I got so excited for my fresh-baked Runza cinnamon rolls that I forgot to grab a napkin.
Now you got cinnamon roll fingers, and they're so ooey.
And gooey. I can't grab a spoon to dig into my delicious homemade chili.
Maybe you should call for help?
Oh, I'll call my mom. Oh, I've ruined my phone.
Worth it, though. Come get Runza's homemade chili, fresh-baked cinnamon rolls, and a napkin today, because Runza makes it all better.
Remember, today is Pigs in a Blanket Day.
All right, we didn't get a call on that one. Unusual. Almost always get calls, but what's the answer?
Mounds constructed by Native Americans can be found in a number of places throughout the U.S. Scholars believe they were built for all of the following purposes except honeymoon locations for newlyweds.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
We'll try again tomorrow. Sue Aceta made a comment concerning a picture of us with our M&M shirts on, and it kind of hurt my feelers.
Really?
Yeah.
What did Sue have to say? Now, I mean, I know Sue.
Yeah.
And I guess I can't see her making a negative comment. I don't know. What was the comment?
I think I saved it.
Okay.
Let me check here. Yeah, here it is. Plain or nutty? Question mark.
Oh.
We know they're definitely nutty.
Yes.
Oh, Sue.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sue. Oh, that's...
We're far from plain.
Well, in some ways we're plain. We're we're getting by with doing a radio show and not knowing hardly anything.
Yeah.
I guess that's plain. Here's Nathaniel Rateliff. Look at here. Breakfast show. I'd like to talk a little bit about Sylvester's at this time.
Would you now?
They always have something going on the weekends, and lately they've been having something going on both Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. They have one of Freddie's favorite bands coming in this Friday, and then they're going to have a football party on Saturday again.
That is correct. Friday night, The Innocents is coming to Sylvester's, and there's no cover charge.
Great.
Just show up and enjoy the music from 9 to 1 on Friday night. Grab your friends and head to Sly's. The Innocents has shared the stage with the likes of Boston, Cheap Trick, Foreigner, Kansas. Playing a little bit of everything, you won't be disappointed. So enjoy the music of The Innocents on Friday night. No cover from 9 to 1 Friday night at Sylvester's. Then come back the next day and cheer on the Huskers. Nebraska taking on Minnesota. It's an early kickoff, 11 a.m., so party with your friends at Sly's. Kickoff at 11. First and third quarter happy hour specials and munchies as well. It's all happening at Sylvester's, known as the Quiet Little Place.
That rocks!
There you go, Sylvester's.
We'll be right back.
There's a difference between treating the pain and treating the problem. At Pearson Physical Therapy, we strive to not only reduce your pain, but actually treat the underlying cause so that you remain pain-free, even after you finish physical therapy. If you're frustrated by pain that keeps coming back, Pearson Physical Therapy can give you the tools that will keep you moving pain-free. Call Pearson's in Broken Bow at 308-872-5800 or check us out on the web at pearsonpt.com. Get the treatment you need and the care you deserve at Pearson Physical Therapy.
If you're buying or selling used equipment and trucks, look no further than PurpleWave.com. We offer a wide selection of skid steers, dozers, loaders, backhoes, trucks, and more. Items are added daily to our regularly scheduled auctions, where everything sells to the highest bidders. Bidding is easy, so get started today. Visit PurpleWave.com. Straight, simple, sold.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
It's the best start to my day.
7:52. Yesterday we talked about the big Powerball prize.
Oh, yeah, over $1 billion.
$1.2 billion now. Nobody won it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know why this is. Don't ever buy them. I went out yesterday and got another one for the next Powerball drawing. Yes.
Wow.
And you brought up an interesting point off the air yesterday. So we really only got through halfway through the conversation about if you won, what would you do? We got through the part about, what would you do with the money?
Mm-hmm.
And you would try to do good things with it. But the other part of it you mentioned off the air, and I think it's worth discussing because this is kind of going along with what you mentioned off the air. $1.2 billion up for grabs tonight in the Powerball. But a guy in China who won the equivalent of $30 million in the lotto is staying incognito about it, even among his own family. He showed up to collect his check dressed in a fuzzy yellow mascot costume. Says he doesn't want to tell his wife or his son about the new fortune. And he says, I don't want them to know because I don't want them to become lazy. That's a good point. The other point you were making is the life-changing fact of winning that much money, millions of dollars, whatever it is that you're going to have a lot of new friends. And you're going to be hounded from people about the good things they would like to see you do, and some of those good things would be maybe to give them money to help them in a situation they're in, and the next thing you know, you're going to have to put a moat around your house and a big fence and not answer the phone or communicate with the outside world because everybody's going to be after your money, right?
Yeah, I think my question was, how would you be treated if you won all the money? I don't know.
Well, I told you the story. The house next door was at one time the Reynolds place, and the daughter of the Reynolds later on won the big Powerball many years ago. She lived in North Platte, worked for the post office, and she's managed it well. She did have to get more private. But I think she gets together with old high school friends once a year and throws a big party for them, and has, dished out some money to family, but not all of it at once. So, you can manage it, but you would have a lot of new friends.
Yes.
Same kind of friends you would have that you have sometimes when things you really, really get tough and they kind of disappear. Those same kind of friends will be there for the money.
Yeah, it would, the jealousy,
that too.
would,
Yeah.
that'd be tough.
Is money evil, or do we just make it that way?
Boy, there's a pondering question.
Yeah. It just makes people do strange
Well, I would
things.
say in and of itself it's not,
Right.
because we have to have it, right?
That's how our society exchanges goods and how we do our commerce, yes. But, man, what people do to make an extra buck or a lot of money, and money becomes power, and it gets a little twisted.
Yeah. It doesn't, I think it doesn't solve all your problems.
Oh, no.
And in some cases, it just creates different ones.
Yeah. There's a certain amount that fits and makes life doable. It's kind of like, I've always put it this way, as far as, I love to fish. You folks out there probably have a hobby that you like to do, whether it be golf or quilt or, whatever you love to do when you're able to. But if you can do that anytime you want, I'm afraid it will become a job. You go, well, got to go fishing today. That's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to go quilting because that's what I love to do. And I really don't want to, but I got to go quilt.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more fun when you're able to get away to do those things than just having all the money in the world and doing whatever you want. I just don't know whether that'd be that much fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it would. Maybe we just don't know how to have fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
With a lot of money. Here's the Doobie Brothers.
Nancy Chen.
A monthly mortgage payment on a $400,000 home would cost you about $750 more than the start of the year.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, an 80-year-old Adams man is dead after his truck collided with a train in Gage County on Monday. The Nebraska State Patrol said troopers and Gage County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of a collision of a train and a pickup at 4:15 p.m. The crash occurred near the intersection of South 176th Street and Birch Road. According to the Nebraska State Patrol, a GMC Sierra driven by 80-year-old Ronald Niles of Adams attempted to cross the railroad tracks when it was struck by the train. Niles was pronounced dead at the scene. The crash remains under investigation. Grand Island police are investigating a robbery after a man reported being robbed at gunpoint on Halloween night. The Grand Island Police Department Captain Jim During said it happened around 9 p.m. at Tienda Central America, located on 4th Street. Police said 2 males wearing dark clothing and skull masks walked into the market demanding money. Captain During said one of the suspects displayed a weapon, but it is believed to have been a BB gun. The 2 suspects didn't get any money, but they did still steal the victim's phone. Police were able to recover the phone several blocks away. The Grand Island Police Department is continuing to investigate as they look at surveillance video from the area.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In baseball, Game 3 of the World Series was all Phillies as they rolled to a 7-0 win over the Astros. Philadelphia getting home runs from Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Rhys Hoskins, Alec Baum, and Brandon Marsh. They all came off Houston starting pitcher Lance McCullers Jr. It's the most home runs allowed by a pitcher in a World Series game ever. Philadelphia leads the series now 2-1. They're 6-0 at home this postseason. Game 4 tonight in Philadelphia, 8 Eastern. It's on Fox. College football, the first playoff rankings of the season have Tennessee number 1, followed by Ohio State, Georgia, and Clemson. Michigan and Alabama are the first 2 teams on the outside looking in. NBA news, Steve Nash is out as head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. There are reports the Nets are in talks to hire Boston Celtics suspended coach Ime Udoka, who had an improper relationship with a female coworker and resulted in him being suspended for the season. Meanwhile, the Nets on the court lost at home to the Bulls 108-99 to fall to 2-6 on the season.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see clearing skies with mild high temperatures into the upper 70s. Breezy south winds at 10 to 20. Then for tonight, mostly clear, a low of 45. For Thursday, do pick up a slight chance for some afternoon showers and storms developing with mid-60s for highs. For Thursday night, trending colder, chance for a rain-snow mix, mid-20s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
You know, if you feel like you're stuck with a healthcare plan that isn't affordable or you simply just don't like how it works, well, right now, during open enrollment is a perfect time to switch to Medi-Share. The typical family saves $500 a month when they join Medi-Share, and what's more, they like it. Medi-Share has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to the industry. That's double. And Medi-Share is the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. It's been around for 30 years. It's shared more than $4 billion in healthcare bills. And here's why now is the perfect time to make the switch. If you join Medi-Share Complete by January 1st, they will waive your new member fees and you'll save an additional 10% off your first year. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month for all of next year. But again, it's a limited time offer. So yeah, you're not stuck. You've got a great option. Call now, 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE, 866-88-BIBLE.
8:06 is your time, and we do want to let you know that the winds have backed down a bit.
That's good.
From the southeast, and it is now partly cloudy, and the clouds are kind of a pretty pink this morning. It's pretty nice out there. Winds backing down here out of the southeast. Barometric pressure maybe down a point at 29.83. Humidity at 82%. Our high yesterday, 78 with an overnight low. That down. 52 degrees for an overnight low as well. Sunset today at 6:33. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 8:12. Sunrise this morning at 8:11. And we set our clocks back 1 hour this Saturday night before we go to bed.
Good reminder.
Going back to standard time.
So we fall back.
We fall back.
Right?
Yep.
And then when we get to the spring, it's spring forward.
Yes, we do get that extra hour of sleep, which will be nice for a few nights, and then we'll get used to that.
Do you really take advantage of it? I mean, does your body really, accept an extra hour? Mine never really does. I mean, now instead of being up at 6:15 every morning, my body will wake me up now at 5.
I think it helps. This morning I got up at 4:30. So it'll be 5:30, right?
No, it'll be 3:30.
3:30. Oh, so I got to go to bed. Oh, no, it doesn't make any difference at all then. Because I'm falling back. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go back an hour.
So then you can sleep longer.
Well, theoretically.
Yeah.
But my question is, does your body allow you to do that? Because, my body's used to getting up at 6 o'clock. So lots of times when we make the change back, then I'm usually waking up before the alarm goes up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess it depends on what you do on the other side of it, at what time you go to bed.
Well, yeah. Well, okay, yeah, that's a good point, too. You just got to stay up later.
I don't know for sure.
Right?
Yeah. It gets
now when we spring forward, that's when I really struggle because
that
then
hurts.
I really feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like I never get the hour back.
I don't know. It gets dark so early that you tend to go to bed earlier because it's been dark longer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're all going to deal with it.
Yes, that's true. Just remember to set your clock back an hour.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Saturday night before you go to bed. We'll come out and reset the transmitter. It used to be a pretty big job for folks to make these adjustments because we didn't have things that would automatically change.
Mm-hmm.
But now all these computers, for the most part here, will all change automatically. We've got a couple wall clocks. We used to have a time clock, which was real dickens to get reset. You had to take the cover off of it, and I don't remember how we did it, crank it back or forward, and don't do that anymore. Don't have a time clock. So we got a couple of wall clocks, and the transmitter has a little memory bank in it that has to be changed. It's not as big a deal as it used to be, and I hope it's that way for you folks out there. But if you still use an alarm, be sure and reset it. Your phones, if you use those phones to get up in the morning, a lot of people use those for alarms anymore. It'll automatically change. Should. Yeah. We have someone in the lobby. Well, let's get them in here.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Da, 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 da. Come on in. Da, 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 da. Come on in. Da, 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 da.
Oh, it's Ryan from the Garden Center.
Garden Center man. Oh, wow. Good, because I have a question for him.
Oh, yes. He's been waiting to see you, Ryan.
I love answering questions.
But he's going to have to describe the plant to you.
I'm kind of embarrassed to ask it, really. Okay, here's my question.
Okay.
Ryan Anderson from the Garden Center is with us now. How do you know, as we come into this new season, okay, like we have some plants outside alongside the house, and they would be annuals, right? Because they come up every year. Perennials, not annuals. Perennials.
I always get that confused.
Already I'm showing that I know absolutely nothing. Okay, so we have those. My question is, how do you know if to trim them back or cut them down, and how far down you should cut them? Is that a really dumb, stupid question?
No.
Okay.
No. But we get that a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah. So it kind of depends on what plant it is, and a lot of we do a lot of that in the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can get rid of some of the ugly, leaves, foliage, that kind of stuff in the fall. But sometimes like say perennial grasses, for instance. It's better to leave those until spring and cut them back in the springtime. So,
okay.
The plant uses the nutrients and whatnot throughout the winter, and so it's best to leave some of that stuff there.
So if I just leave it alone and then get to springtime, and then you can kind of see where the new growth is coming up at,
exactly.
Then you can kind of, you can take out the old stuff and make it look nice.
Yep.
Okay.
So, I mean, but if you have foliage that comes off or something, you can kind of clean that stuff up as long as you're mulched in good. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, Ryan, this is just a thought, but you did it right. You were honest, and you told Brent what would be the best for him and for the plants. But if you want to sell him more plants, you want him to kill them.
Well,
there's that, I guess.
Well, because you're dealing with me, you probably don't have to give me any advice on how to do that. I could probably come up with that all by myself.
Well, that's why people go to the garden center, to Ryan and the crew, because they have their best interest in the plants and the people, and you're going to give them the advice that is the right kind of advice. I think there's probably some people out there that might think, well, yeah, if he doesn't save them through the winter, I'll get to sell them some more this spring. But you didn't think that way, so thank you.
You bet. So you can buy annuals in the spring, every spring.
Sure.
So
Yeah. What is going on at the garden center right now?
A little bit in between seasons, but we got our Christmas decor out, or holiday decor.
Sure, yeah.
We still have some fall decor out. That's 20% off, so some sales going on. I believe there's still a few Halloween pieces, so that's 40% off. Candles are going good. Got fall scents in. We also have our Christmas or holiday scents in, some new fragrances there. So that's the Keepers of the Light candles. So get a nice burn time out of them, and really good, fragrance there. So
Yeah.
scents, fragrance, I don't know what you call it. Flavors.
Smell good, yeah.
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 So lots of big variety of house plants in. So as you're moving, transitioning from fall, moving some stuff inside, want to add to it, or you can't ever have too many plants. So but we have a good selection there, and then along with that is like potting soil if it's time to repot some stuff. Of course, we have potting soil all year round, thawed out and everything. So that, and quite a bit of pottery in right now. So.
Good. And as far as that repotting goes, kind of a nice time of year to do this, because if you have indoor plants and you want to repot them, you can still go outside now, and if you make a little mess, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Or maybe out in the garage or out in the yard, backyard or something. So an ideal time to do that. When it gets 10 degrees outside, then you're going to probably do them inside. And I know you repot for people too.
Yeah.
The live plants that you have, we probably need to remind people, are great for funeral services and that sort of thing, and I know you do a lot of that.
Yep, we do. We can get plants to memorial services for anybody, and along with that, we also we brought in a new line of stone memorials or cement memorials, that sort of thing. Kind of getting back to maybe what the previous owners had, a little bit more of. We've found a new dealer for that, so kind of excited to bring that line back in and have those available too. So those came in a couple weeks ago and got quite a bigger selection than what we've had the last couple of years. So
Good. Well, you mentioned Christmas. This is November 2nd, believe it or not. It seems like once we fly into November, Thanksgiving's here, and then it's full steam ahead. What's the scenario on Christmas trees? You're going to have a good supply this year?
Yep, looking that way. They'll come in about mid-month, and we'll have those ready to go in the greenhouse for everybody, and we'll also do our live green holiday planters again. So we'll have got all the stuff ready for that, and that'll be coming in the next couple weeks, and probably see some more things about that as they come in. But everything looks good so far for Christmas. Poinsettias about that week of Thanksgiving. I think they're due to arrive, so
perfect timing there.
Yeah. A lot of stuff coming, I guess. So yeah.
Now, I read somewhere, I'm just pretty sure I read somewhere at one time that there's a tradition in especially the Midwest where a new neighbor in the community, in the neighborhood, usually will buy the Christmas tree for some of the neighbors as I'm happy to be a part of this neighborhood. And so I wondered if you've ever had anybody come in that maybe moved into a new neighborhood and bought Christmas trees for the new neighbors that they're trying to get to know.
No.
Thank you, Ryan. Have you ever come across, when someone moves into a neighborhood, what usually happens? The neighborhood usually,
housewarming gifts.
Exactly. The neighborhood usually does nice things for the person moving in. Dave thinks that the new person is the one that needs to do all of these things for the neighborhood.
I just want to say,
like acceptance or something.
Yeah.
Ryan, you're brutally honest. Which is a good trait to have.
I enjoyed your answer. No. I've never had that happen.
Stop.
I do. People getting live Christmas trees, though, has really become popular again, right? I mean, because I remember when I was growing up as a kid, there was kind of that time where we went from the live and then everybody was getting artificial trees. And it seems like it's going back because, I don't know, the smell and everything, the freshness of a Christmas tree in the house, it's great.
Yeah, I've seen that. I get different bits of news and stuff about live Christmas trees and the benefits of it, I guess. So it more for, I think they're growing them and the benefits that has for the environment is, but yeah,
rather than throwing away a plastic tree that gets worn out and actually trees are good for the environment, period. So yeah, I don't know, something about if you have kids or grandkids, having them decorate a real tree, it's just a little more fun than an artificial. I wouldn't admit they make real nice artificial trees anymore that look real, but I don't know, just get a little sap on their fingers. You know?
They haven't figured out how to put the smell in the artificial
exactly.
tree.
Yeah. So you'll have those in the greenhouse mid-month, you say?
Yep. About the week of November 14th, so I think that Monday the 14th.
So if there's a particular size you're thinking of, might want to check in and earlier than later, right?
Yes. We're going to have a good selection of them. Size is an issue. There's still some shortages, I guess. I kind of adjusted my order for that, and I know last year it was you put in your orders and they went out and kind of took an inventory of their trees and came back and really cut us down as far as the quantity of different sizes. So I kind of prepared for that a little bit this year because that was a lingering effect of drought in 2012, 2013, and so we knew that was going to be an issue again this year, and
kind of made adjustments.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
It'll be interesting in 10 years to see what's transpiring again, because we're in a drought now. So.
Yeah. That's going to have an effect for sure. So, what are your hours right now for folks who want to stop in and take a look at some of those things you have on the shelf already?
So, Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5:30. Saturdays we're open 10 to 2, and then Mondays 10 to 4.
Okay.
Most Mondays. So.
Now you mentioned it being dry, but with that we've had these warm temperatures going into November. Still, we have unfrozen ground for sure. So some bushes could be put in, some trees and so forth. Do you have some on hand?
Yep, we still have some trees. We're a little bit short on the shade tree inventory isn't like a spring inventory.
Sure.
Still have Norway spruce evergreens. They're one of the fastest growing spruce trees. Got a bunch of them, 20% off on those.
Okay.
So if somebody's looking to put in, kind of a windbreak or quite a few of them, come talk to me. Like to get those moved. But shrubs, that sort of thing, just sent some out the door last night. And, even though the air temperature is cooler, the ground temperature is still somewhat warm, and the fall's a great time to plant because the plant isn't spending energy, making leaves and flowers and that sort of thing. It can spend some time making roots before the next season, and then, next spring hits and they come out and they're ready to put on their glory, I guess.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, we still have some of that. We've put some of it away, so it's going to look a little bit empty. But we can, if you're interested in it, we can show it to you and
okay, all right,
get you fixed up. So,
and of course, water. You got to make sure you keep them watered and mulched, which you have.
Yep.
To take care of that. All right. Anything else that you wanted to tell folks about that we didn't ask you about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like I say, we got our sales going on, and then I think it's the 12th. Saturday the 12th, we'll be participating in the Chamber's Hunt for Savings.
Oh, okay.
Day there, and so we'll have some specials and drawings happening that day. So, but
yeah, sounds like you kind of got the fall season covered, going into Thanksgiving and Christmas. So there's a lot of different things that people can look at when they come in, and some of it's discounted right now. So
yep, our showroom's pretty full.
Okay, all right. So. And if you don't know where the garden center is, it's a block south. If you turn on the west side of the Tumbleweeds, good way to get there. You'll see it with the greenhouse there. Now you've got more greenhouses there.
Yep.
More space than ever. So stop in. And what's your phone number again?
872-6095.
6095 if you're wanting to ask some questions or maybe set up getting some of those plants repotted and that sort of thing. And of course you got all the fertilizers and all the starters and all of that sort of thing on the shelf. And
yep, all ready to go.
Gift certificates, never too early to start buying those for the holidays.
Gift certificates. Our furniture's kind of coming back.
Oh, good. Good.
Got a few sets of swivel gliders if you're looking for a nice Christmas present.
That'd make a great gift. Yeah. So. All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And I appreciate your honesty on both Brent's plants and what I thought was a tradition, but evidently not. We'll take a time out. And with these words.
From indoor and outdoor to out in the field, Ansley Lumber and Supply has what you need for your projects. There's nothing stronger than LP Smart Side siding for your home, and Pella, Marvin, and North Star windows can increase efficiency greatly. They have them. Does your kitchen need a new look? Well, Ansley Lumber has several lines of cabinets to choose from, and they offer quartz and granite countertops. Benjamin Moore Paint can freshen up a look, plus they have metal for your buildings, plus creosote and copper posts. Ansley Lumber and Supply, downtown Ansley.
Happy fall from your friends at Gary's Superfoods in Broken Bow. Save on USDA choice sirloin tip roast, $4.99 a pound. Boneless beef New York strip steaks are $5.99 each. Have a pasta night. Ragu pasta sauces are only $1.99. Pick up Frito-Lay Cheetos or Fritos at 2 for $7. Boxes of Mrs. Butterworth's pancake and waffle mixes are $2.99 each, as are Mrs. Butterworth's or Log Cabin syrups. Gary's Superfoods, excited to serve you with these great prices and many more on South B Street in Broken Bow.
Make us part of your morning routine.
Just really great music, and you guys are fun and active and lively and just a good station.
Central Nebraska wakes up with Dave and Brent on The Breakfast Show.
8:28 is your time. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Get those microphones close, ladies. Pull it right down there, Kaylin. Don't be shy. We want to hear every word you have to say.
Oh.
Now, Brent Apperson really knows you guys because he actually worked with both of you for a while at Custer Federal State Bank. I'd like to know some dirt on Brent when he worked there. Is there anything you could pass along that would embarrass him at all?
I don't think so. I think he was usually pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Wow. You paid us to say that.
Yeah. We had a little meeting before they came in.
Oh. Well, 'tis the season, guys. We were just talking with Ryan at the Garden Center about rolling into Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I imagine that would lead us to talk about things like debit cards and easy ways to shop and easy ways to safely spend money. Is that something we're going to talk about today?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Get those mics a little closer. I'm going to help you.
Okay, so while we're adjusting the microphone.
Goodness.
Yikes. Look out.
It's right up in there.
I want to have you talk a little bit about trunk or treat.
Yeah.
Because I was in the bank the day of Halloween, and I think it was Audra. She was putting together all the treats. Dude, I wanted to put on a costume and come over to Custer Federal. You guys were giving away some good stuff. Did you have a nice crowd?
Yeah, I think the whole square had a great one. There was, I mean, I don't know how many candy bars we gave away, but we had quite a few boxes, and I think we went through most of them.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That was a fun day, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It's nice that they do that.
Yeah, it's a great time. We had a blast in the park, and the people will go a long ways from the park off the square to come and see people like you, which is nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that Brent was a red M&M?
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw all the M&Ms.
Yeah, he was red, and Jeff was
one of two.
Yeah.
Everybody else had their own color except me. I had to share.
Did you run out of colors? Or?
Apparently, yeah.
That's what we were told. That's why I was a black M&M.
Yeah.
Oh.
We were chastised for some reason. I don't know.
We were. Anyway, where were we? What would you guys like to talk about?
Well, we wanted to let everybody know about a new upgrade we have on our app that lets you kind of control some of your debit card features yourself. So give people a little more control, like you said, going into the holidays, help with kind of some of those changes in your spending habits, or if the people are traveling. It has a spend insights feature, so it lets people look back and you can see what kind of vendors you've been spending your money at, how much you're spending, give you a little insight into kind of some of your spending habits. So something that might be helpful for people going into the holidays, get a little idea of where that's going. I know spending kind of increases this time of year. It also lets them have some controls, so we can put alerts on. If you want to know every time your debit card's used to spend over $10, you can put an alert on. Or if you want to know every time your debit card is swiped, you can put an alert and it'll just send you a push notice on your phone. So kind of help with some of that fraud if you're wanting to know, either tracking somebody else's spending. You know, for example, I have my husband, so it pops up whenever he spends on it. We can
see
where that's happening. Great for your teenagers maybe to see where they're spending their money.
Yes.
far as the husband thing, I think
Yeah.
that's I don't know if that's.
I was just going to say, I hope my wife's not listening to this.
Well, and you can put some controls, so I can actually go in and say, hey, I don't want my card to be used to spend more than $100, and I can drop a spending limit down, or I can put a limit on. We can control by location, merchant type, transaction type, and dollar amount. So could go in, for example, if you've got high schoolers that you want to pay their gas and that's it, you can lock their debit card so it only works at gas stations.
Wow.
That's really good, because that avoids some conflict if it's already taken care of. That would be nice.
Well, and what it does, it can help you control your spending
Exactly.
too, because we know what prices are at the moment. And I mean, we're kind of all in that boat now, aren't we? I mean, where you have to kind of watch and control what you're spending, and this would be a good way to do it.
Yep, and that spend insight features, I think now particularly would be really helpful to see, oh, I am spending a lot more on gas, or my grocery bills have gone up a lot, and kind of get an idea of where you're spending and help you track that.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. And these are just the purchases on your debit card. So if you're writing a paper check, it's not going to show here. These are just debit card, but I think that's what most of us are
people.
using kind of your daily transactions.
Isn't it nice that you have all these features, and you can get basically all those messages to kind of monitor things? And you know, the days of man, I let my credit card get out of hand, and now I'm paying interest, and I can't keep up with what the credit card's costing me. That's really not necessary anymore. It used to be you just had credit cards, and they kind of got to be a problem.
Well, and you kind of only saw once a month when that paper bill came, and by then it's too late. So this lets you track it a little bit. And also for the fraud, that's, I know, on everyone's concern now is, so these will pop up, and if you get an alert that's not yours on our app, you can now just turn your card off automatically. So if it happens on a Saturday and you can't get a hold of us, you know, the bank's closed, you can go on your app and turn your card off. So if you've got some stuff that you're suspicious about, go ahead and turn it off till we can talk to you on Monday. Or if you lost your card, you know, you forgot it at the restaurant, something like that, you can go ahead and turn it off. If it's somewhere, you know, I don't know if I left it at home or if it's truly lost, you can turn it back on then if you get home and you find your wallet and you're able to turn it back on.
That's great. And even, I would think some people just, maybe if it's that convenient, don't turn it on till they need to use it.
Yep, another security thing to just keep it locked off in case anyone stole your card, so that would be helpful.
I have a question.
Yes.
This kind of is going in the opposite direction. You set some limits. You kind of forgot you set them. You go to buy something, and you scan your card, and it says funds not available. Can you go in and change that immediately?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It'll go. I've actually done that. We went on vacation to Colorado, and I set my location as Colorado while we were traveling, so I wouldn't have any. I didn't want it to flag as this is unusual spending. And we came back, and I forgot to switch it back to here. So I could just go in and do it and rerun it immediately, and it, you know, give it a minute, and it should go through.
Okay, nice to know.
So,
because that would be something that would happen to me. I'd set a limit, and I completely forgot that I did it, and then you show up to buy gas or something, and you're like, uh-oh.
And the nice thing on, especially the location, is you can set it to be off your phone. So as long as you're within kind of a radius of your phone, it'll go off that location.
Oh.
So it could be a problem if you forgot your phone at home.
Yeah,
and,
right.
you know, hopefully most of us aren't going to do that going on vacation and travel too far, but you do set it off of where you are now instead of I'm in Colorado. You can set it kind of, okay, within 10 miles of where my phone is, it'll work.
Nice. Okay.
So, and another great feature with holidays coming up is instead of having to call us and tell us, hey, I'm traveling to these states for the holidays, you can set a travel plan on the app and tell it, I'm going to, you know, if you're going on a road trip and I'm going to drive through Kansas and then Colorado, and you can tell it what dates you're gone and what states you'll be in so that it won't flag them as unusual spending when you're buying gas in multiple states over a short period of time.
Man, that's amazing.
Technology just is crazy.
Becky, I would think you'll be proud to know that I'm actually using the online banking to look at my bank statement, my checking statement now. I feel very tacky myself.
I am very proud of you.
Thank you,
Good
Becky.
job, Dave.
You have to change the. You have to set up a new password every once in a while on the checking, don't you?
You do.
You do.
Yeah.
I believe it's at 90 days now. So that's just a security feature
90?
for you so that make sure we're not, if someone were to hack into it or get your password, it's just constantly having you change them.
I don't use it anymore, so the listeners out there, you can't get into the checking. But my first one was, this is a pain in the butt.
That was your That was your password?
Yes.
Oh man.
Lowercase, but I don't use that anymore.
Oh,
so
good.
you people out there can't get in.
Is this a time of year where you need to maybe pay a little bit closer attention to things as far as fraud goes? Is this a time of year where people are trying to maybe fraud you more just because usually this time of year we are spending a little bit more, so maybe we're not paying as close of attention to...
I think they're always trying.
Yeah.
And it's always something you want to be... I mean, it is a good thing. Having the online banking and this card hub, it is nice to be able to check it more often.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, through the holidays, everybody's hoping you're not checking your account quite as much. And so, it is definitely... This is a great feature to have, so...
And I would think that, when I think of fraud, immediately I'm thinking, someone's going to try to steal $2,000 out of my account. That's not always the case. Lots of times it's like 10, 15, 20, so that you don't catch it.
And we do have a lot of people that call in and they maybe 1 month decide to look at their statement and realize that they've had a $20 charge every month for the last 6 or 8 months, and they, just aren't looking that closely, and then they maybe once a year, tax time, something, or start looking closer and realize it's been happening just small amounts, but regularly.
Man. Becky, I have a question for you.
Do you have...
Is it okay to ask?
It is.
Okay.
Go for it.
What about if we're going into the holiday season and maybe we need a little loan for Christmas? Do they still do loans for Christmas that you pay back after the Christmas holidays?
Well, now that you'd probably have to talk to Paul about.
Oh, I would.
He would be more on the loan side, so...
Okay. Well, do you think since I'm related, he would just give me the money?
He might. We could probably talk to him about that for
Okay, would you ask him?
Yeah, sure.
But those are still, people still sometimes borrow towards the end of the year to get through the holidays and maybe set up a payment plan or something after, I suppose.
I think they do some of that.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get away from that a little bit.
Not as much.
We do have to have some collateral or something on it, so we can't just do it's for Christmas spending. Typically it's done against something else, and then they're using it for that.
Okay. Well, with all of the tools you have nowadays, maybe it's not as necessary as it used to be with, what you've been talking about. So, okay.
Yeah. And as we go into a new year, you can start saving, right?
Yep. And I think that's kind of
Going
the plan
up
we
to
encourage
Christmas,
people is
yeah.
we've got great options to help you save. Our Kasasa account, we've got a saver account linked to it, so it can kick your interest or your rewards over to that savings account every month. That's a great option. Start in January, and you can have a little bit built up then for when you do get to the holidays and need a little extra cash.
That's a good idea. Start right at the first of the year and have some money for the holidays at the end of the year.
Yep.
Yep. And is interest rates going up a little bit as far as savings go?
Yep. So we've kind of been changing them slowly across the board.
Mm-hmm.
We've made adjustments on various products. Our CDs obviously kind of get a little more increase to begin with. Our money market's seen some increases, so that's something I'd encourage people to take a look at as well.
Okay. All right. And some are more accessible than others, I imagine, as far as if you need some of that money out.
Yep. And the money market's been a great tool for that. It has some of the little bit higher rates, maybe not quite as high as our CD rates, but you are allowed to access them funds during it. So I think it's 6 times a month they can access it. So
that should do
functions like a savings account, but has a little bit higher rate.
Okay, good to know. Because I thought maybe you guys have heard of this before, but a lot of times when people move into your neighborhood, they'll they'll give you a CD, give you a CD as just a gift of "I'm happy to be your neighbor" type of thing.
Oh,
You can
that
come
would
see us,
be a
Brent?
great gift.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice and special.
I've been here basically a year. I've lived at this place, and he's still calling me a new neighbor, as
Well, he's
a
been
way
there for
as a
several
way
years.
to try to get stuff. Ugh.
Get stuff.
I mean, I think you should get a gift each month for a new neighbor, right?
Yeah.
For like the first year.
Oh, please
Is that how you're...
don't encourage him.
That would be special.
Wouldn't it, though?
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of the money market because, the locking in is you get the higher interest rate, which is great if you know you're not going to need it. But to be able to access it if something comes up, I think a lot of people would like that.
Yeah, and the money market's got some tiered rates to it, so the more you save in there, the more of a reward you're going to get. The rate's going to go higher as your balance increases.
Okay. All right. Brent, did you have any more questions? You're the former, you worked with these young ladies.
I don't think I do. Was there something else you guys wanted to touch on before we let you go?
I don't think so. I think just check in. We're constantly monitoring our CD rates, so check in if that's something you're interested in
Okay.
and see where they're at.
Boy, I have to tell you, yesterday I was in the bank. I came in because I wanted to wish Jody a happy birthday. And they had the letters up there, the numbers of how old Jody is. I honestly, I'm not kidding, she's going to be embarrassed, but I told her this. She told me it was a big birthday, and I thought it was probably like 40.
Yeah.
She does not look at that big number that she got up there. Do you think?
She does not.
No, I don't think she does either.
Yeah. She's ornery, isn't she?
So, yep, she can be sometimes, but I think we all can.
Oh, I imagine so. Yeah. Well, is Paul ornery at all? I mean, he's my son. I'd like to know a little bit more about how he conducts himself in a professional environment.
Your silence says it all. Your silence says it all.
I don't know. Becky's got the office across from him,
Yeah,
so I'll
so
let her handle
I've got to
that
be
question.
careful.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get in too much trouble there. So.
Oh man. All right. You got to take the opportunity to kind of snoop around when you got the opportunity. But I didn't get an answer, did I, Brent?
I don't think you did. No. Although not getting an answer may have been your answer.
Yeah, maybe so. Custer Federal State Bank. Boy, when was it founded? 1920 something?
I believe so.
25? I think.
Quizzing us here.
Well, I mean, it amazes, I think, people when they think about the banks we have here, and Custer Federal's right in there, been in business for so long as a local bank. And now you have the bank in Kearney as well.
Yep.
And I know that's going well down there. When we've talked to you guys, that's a great addition to the company. But serving this area for that long, you just have to be confident that it's really the local bank, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you want for Christmas, Becky?
Oh wow, that was just kind of out of the blue.
Welcome to my world. Questions that come from out of the blue.
Honestly, I think for the first time we are gonna get all the kids and grandkids together at one time, and I think that is just gonna be, that'll be a great gift.
Oh, that's nice.
And we should have a new one by then. So.
Oh wow,
even
great.
better.
Yeah, even better. Yeah. Caitlin, what are you hoping for Christmas? You going to gather with the family as well?
Oh, I think so. My mom is in South Carolina. She lives out there, and she's coming back for Christmas. So that'll be nice to have Grandma in town.
Yeah.
We've got a new little one at home, so
Yes, you
she's
do.
excited to come out and see her.
I bet that's been fun.
Yeah.
And how's the older one taking the new one?
Oh, he loves her. He's a
Oh.
great big brother.
Good.
Maybe loves her a little too much. Sometimes we're a little worried she's going to get smothered.
Better that way than the other, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Well, thanks, guys, for coming in, putting up with us. Brent can be a real problem sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm glad he behaved himself today. The job I have every day. Oh. Here's John Hyatt on The Breakfast Show.
That behind every great parts store, there's even greater staff and patrons. At WinQuest, you'll find an amazing staff of parts professionals who have a combined experience of well over 100 years. You'll also find loyal patrons who know where to find quality parts and excellent service. To our crew and customers, Dan and I would like to say thank you for making us who we are today. 97 years and 4 generations strong. WinQuest Incorporated, proudly serving you since 1925. East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Loop Basin Public Health Department wants to keep you and your family safe this winter. Protect yourself by staying up to date with your COVID vaccinations, including your booster dose. Getting a booster dose means you will increase your protection against severe disease and continue protecting your loved ones and community against COVID-19. Get vaccinated today by calling 308-346-5795 to book your appointment or check out their social media outlets for more COVID information. Loop Basin Public Health Department wishes you a safe and healthy winter.
8:51, Brent and Dave with you here on the Breakfast Show. Thanks to Becky and Caitlin for coming in. Augusta Federal State Bank here in Broken Bow, and of course they have their new addition down in Kearney. It's probably not all that new anymore. It's been there quite a while.
Yeah, a little while now.
Kind of like the new neighbor thing. We're probably almost to the point where you're not a new neighbor anymore.
Yeah. How long do you have to be in your neighborhood before you're no longer a new neighbor?
I think 3 years.
3? Oh, wow, great. Well, I've got 1 year down, 2 more years of this to deal with on the Breakfast Show. Let me write a note. Okay.
Saw an article. Actually, it was a piece on TV the other day. I think it was on Sunday. And thought it was really interesting, and now they have an article here about this, a study finding that there's a rise in front crashes involving kids. And the reason being is that, a lot of these SUVs and pickups are bigger and taller off the ground than they used to be, and the visibility right in front of them is not very good. You can't see for a ways out from the hood. And they actually, in this piece, showed they had a SUV, I believe it was, or a pickup. I think it was an SUV in a driveway where kids are playing. And they put kids in front of it, sitting down, from the front bumper out. And it took the person in the vehicle couldn't see I think it was like the 6th or 7th kid out from the bumper until they could actually see them.
Wow.
So there's a real blind spot there, and I think they're addressing that. And then they showed in the piece too where they had a camera in the front, and the driver could see that child right down in front of the bumper. So I got a funny feeling we're going to see those cameras. I don't know if they'll become mandatory or not, but you've got a camera in the back for backing up. I bet you we're going to see cameras in the front for that reason, for safety reason, for kids and animals, and keep from driving over something, maybe even to damage your vehicle, tire or something, because you just can't see very far out with newer vehicles. So I bet you we'll see those cameras coming into play here very, very soon. And I think there are some out there with front cameras, but I'm almost wondering if it won't be mandatory after a while.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting article. Do you like spiders?
Just the little spiders. I'm not bothered by them. Now, I've never really come across those big spiders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I would react to one of those, but just the tiny little spiders that crawl across the floor and stuff. I guess I'm not. It's not like I turn around and run the other way like I do if I see a snake.
Some people are that way with spiders, like you are with snakes, but I think they should really be respected.
Oh,
animals and nature, we sometimes overlook how amazing animals, even insects, are. And this article kind of highlights that. Black widow spiders, which puts a little fear into people.
I was just going to say, now, I would probably turn and run away from a black widow spider.
They have a great memory. Now, you don't think looking at a spider that they have much of a brain, let alone memory, but they do. An experiment at the University of Wisconsin showed that spiders have the ability to make complex calculations, like figuring out how big their prey are and how big to spin the web. Never think of that. But yeah, they could start spinning, but they know exactly how big to make that to surround that prey. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? And it's not that they're only good at measuring. They found that they have a pretty good memory, retracing their steps to find their food despite being basically blind. So you're basically blind. You can calculate how big to make the web, and you can track back the same way you came from to go eat the meal. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Wow. You heard it here on The Breakfast Show.
There you go.
We'll take a timeout.
We've got spirit, yes we do. We've got spirit, how about you? Here at Nebraska State Bank, we've got school spirit. Introducing mascot debit cards from Nebraska State Bank. Now you can go to your local NSB branch and request a new debit card for your favorite high school team. The Broken Bow Indians, South Loop Bobcats, or Anselmo Murray debit cards are available by instant issue. You'll only pay $10, and the entire amount will be passed along to your school. It's a win-win situation, right? Take your school pride to the next level at Nebraska State Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
It's that time of year again. Hi, this is Liana with Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency. Annual open enrollment for Medicare plans starts October 15th and runs through December 7th. It's very important to review your current health and prescription coverage each year. The TV advertising and phone calls can get overwhelming, so let me help. Give me a call at 836-2201 or stop at the offices in Callaway or Broken Bow to schedule an appointment. We do not offer every plan available in your area. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all your options.
A lot of work goes into your deer hunt. Early mornings, that climb into the stand. When you pass off your hard work to be processed, make the right choice. Choose Myrna Pack. For over 40 years, Everett and his crew have offered Central Nebraska quality deer processing that includes jerky, salami, and other specialties. They are ready to be there for you again this year. Call 308-643-2237 to ask about their hours and your options. Take your deer to Myrna Pack.
It's that time of year. Time for you to win a frozen turkey. Starting this Monday, Turkey Time is back at KCNI KBBN Radio. It's super easy, and winners receive a certificate for a frozen turkey for the holidays. Listen right here, starting Monday, for your chance to win.
Wow. It's
Monday.
that time already.
Gosh.
Turkey time.
People are better about turkey time than they once were.
How so? How do you mean?
Well, we used to play turkey time when we were still spinning records.
Yes.
And so it's been a long time ago. But we did a lot of turkeys. But when we used the shot situation that we still do, but it was on a cart.
Yes.
And I remember a couple of different times, there was a couple different times that a person was so frustrated because they would call in and not guess the right number of shots. And got chewed out a couple of times.
Did you?
Called in and said, I've been trying for 2 weeks to win that turkey.
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, I can't help you. I don't know how many shots are going to be happening here, so, and I wouldn't help you because that would be cheating.
Correct. Yeah.
But yeah, we don't get those kinds of calls anymore. People are pretty cool about it. But there was a time or two that I got reamed out pretty good.
I was in the store the other day and just kind of glanced at the turkey prices.
Yeah.
Am I eligible to play turkey time?
It's not like the old 19 cents a pound, is it?
No, it sure doesn't seem to be at the moment.
Wow. We'll take a timeout, then we'll catch up on some news next.
The fall season is in full swing, and they are excited about it at Barney Health Mart in Broken Bow. Right now, stop in and save 20% off all fall decor. Yes, that includes fall gnome and turkey decorations that are in stock. Nothing says fall like a fall-scented candle. They have them. Join them at upcoming flu shot clinics November 8th and 22nd. Barney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. North Korea has fired more than 20 missiles, its largest deployment in a single day. One landed south of the maritime border. Asia expert Gordon Chang.
When North Korea acts provocatively, they want something. And at this particular time, they want assistance from the international community, and they want the end of sanctions.
Fed expected to raise interest rates by another 0.75 of a percentage point today. New Jersey realtor Stacey Esser says it won't help her persuade prospective home buyers.
It's not that we've never seen 7% interest rates. It's that we've never seen interest rates in basically 1 year go from 2.5% to 7%.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot up to $1.2 billion.
I'm going to put it away because I got plans for my future. I would take a vacation, me and my husband, and then I probably would come back and give my kids some money and get us a house.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Nick Cope.
We start with the World Series. The Phillies now with a 2-1 series lead over the Astros following a 7-0 win on Tuesday. Philly matched a World Series record with 5 home runs in the game, including this one in the first inning.
Comes home with the pitch swung on, hit deep, right field, and the Phillies are going to lead it.
Yeah, they are.
Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top with a 2-run home run over the out-of-town scoreboard.
94 WIP Phillies Radio Network. Game 4 tonight, 8 Eastern on Fox. It'll be Aaron Nola getting the ball for Philly against Christian Javier for the Astros. Tennessee is number 1 in the first college football playoff top 25 of the season. Ohio State, Georgia, and Clemson fill out the top 4, followed by Michigan, Alabama, TCU, and Oregon. In the NBA, the Suns are off to the best start in the Western Conference, now 6-1 after a 116-107 win over the Timberwolves.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see clearing skies with mild high temperatures into the upper 70s. Breezy south winds at 10 to 20. Then for tonight, mostly clear, a low of 45. For Thursday, do pick up a slight chance for some afternoon showers and storms developing with mid-60s for highs. For Thursday night, trending colder, chance for a rain-snow mix, mid-20s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
I would say it's like an ice-cold Mountain Dew on a hot summer day. God's Word refreshes our spirit. In my daily Bible readings and in worship on Sunday, His Word and His joy are my strength for the week to come. So make plans today to attend church on Sunday. And if you're needing to talk, give us a call. This is Roger Sloan with the Lillian Church of Christ, 872-2618, where we love to share Jesus.
3 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. We have more guests in the studio. Don Shada and R.P. Smith is here. We're going to talk to them about poetry, pies, and I don't know what else, but we'll find out right after these words.
It is no secret that cybersecurity and keeping your personal information safe and secure is very important. Scammers never stop and will do whatever they can to get your information. Some examples of what to be looking out for are spoofed phone calls, suspicious emails or texts, computer pop-ups, requests for urgent wire transfers or gift card purchases. If you are suspicious of fraud or a scam, always call your bank about the situation. Bruning Bank wants you to stay safe and be diligent about keeping your information secure. Our staff is trained to deal with any type of situation and is happy to help or answer any questions you may have. Bruning Bank. Build, grow, thrive. Member FDIC.
You're invited to the craft show and more going on during One Box Weekend in the Broken Bow Municipal Building. Saturday from 9 to 4. Some vendors include Lauren Creations and Designs, Impact Closet Boutique, Morning Lark Crochet, Sipology by Steve T, Paparazzi Accessories, Keys Canning and Crafts, 100-Fold, Trinity Road Treasure, Oxford Chess, Dayspring, Baking Dreams, and many more. Saturday, 9 to 4 in Broken Bow. A craft show and more.
Good to have you folks along. Thanks for listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. We always appreciate your company. We always appreciate the company of these two gentlemen as well, Brent, who just walked into the studio. I feel like we're going to be talking about poetry, music, pies, getting together with good people.
Yes, I think that is what
I'm
they're
on track
in here
here
for. I believe so.
Well, good.
Is it pies and poetry time again? We have Don Shada and R.P. Smith with us. Are we at that time of year again, Don?
It is, yeah.
Wonderful.
Exactly. We heard this was a breakfast show, and we came in and we thought we was going to have breakfast, but doesn't look like it. I don't see anything.
Well, the way we do it, Don, I'm sorry you didn't get the memo, but usually the guests bring in the breakfast.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Sorry.
I could have fixed up an extra serving of liver and eggs this morning and brought...
That's okay.
Do you like liver, RP?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I like having one.
Yeah.
That's
well,
good.
yeah, it is. Yeah, that is good.
I don't know that this would count as replacement therapy or anything, but it's probably not hurting anything.
We were kind of talking off the air, Don. What did you tell us, 17 years that the poetry gathering has kind of been going on now?
We built, it takes place in my church in Comstock, and we were looking for, talking about some different ways when we build our new building of how we might use it. And this subject never came up, as I recall, but within about a year, I'd been going up to Valentine for a few years and so forth, and part of that gathering up there, and I told the people, I said, I guess maybe we could have a cowboy poet gathering. And they didn't have any idea what I was talking about. And so I remember getting a hold of RP and seeing what he thought, and I guess he wasn't too negative about it because we decided to give it a try. And anyway, so that was, this is the 17th annual now that we've been having that, and we didn't miss a year, even the COVID year. We went ahead and just plunged on in and did it. But, yeah.
Can you guys talk about the relationships that you've made with other people in cowboy poetry? RP, I know that you've made a lot of relationships through this, and I know that they've been special.
Well, they really are. I mean, I've been at this over 30 years now, and in that time frame, well, there's some people that you just really have connected with, and these gatherings give a chance to get together, and when people don't get to come, you really miss them. So you kind of get to appreciate, and when things go well and the cards fall right for people to be there.
So when is this going to take place this year?
Okay, it's coming up this coming Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yep, November the 5th, and we actually start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we have what we call day sessions of poetry and music, and they'll go on through the afternoon, about a 50 minutes, kind of like going to a college class. You go about 50 minutes and they give you a 10-minute break before your next class starts, So like that, only except it's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And no, in regard to what RP was just saying, we were both up to Valentine for the gathering here a couple weeks ago, and I hear this every year from the poets that are there and the musicians that come together. It says that it's just like a family reunion. And that's really pretty well true. And you get to know these people, and you may not see them only once or twice a year, but it's always a good time.
Yeah. So who are some of the people that you're going to have come this year?
Well, I've got RP's going to be there again. He's always gracious about helping us out. And a friend of mine named Marty Blocker from up at Cody, Nebraska. And Marty's been there a number of times as well. And Yvonne Hollenbeck, and she's one of the top gals in cowboy poetry and has been for a number of years. She's a Nebraska gal, but she's married and lives up in Clearfield, not Clearfield?
Yeah.
South Dakota, but
just over the line a little bit.
Not too far up there. And Anyway, a number of years ago, we met a lady from Texas by the name of Jean Prescott, and she sings and does a great job. And Yvonne had mentioned they're pretty good friends. That she's told Jean about our gathering and thought she'd probably enjoy it, and so I finally decided I'd go ahead and see if I could get her to come, and so she's planning on being there as well. She'll be there, and then there's about 5 or 6 others from around the area that will be there. I got to thinking back, and I'm not sure I've got them all thought of yet, of the poets and singers we've had there over the years, and I came up to about 40 different performers who've been with us over the years, and of course some of them a number of times, and some of them maybe just once. But so yeah, we've tried to get some new ones about every year, 1 or 2 new ones, and it's been a good, enjoyable thing. I enjoy doing it.
Now, are you going to perform too?
Oh, I'll probably stick 1 or 2 in there somewhere.
Okay. All right.
Don, I was curious when, we were talking about music and poetry. I know you've been in the music side of things for a long time. Met you 30, 40 years ago when you'd come into the radio station, when you were out performing quite a bit musically. When did you start doing the cowboy poetry? Did that start at the same time or a little later?
I got invited about the 3rd year. I probably didn't know that Valentine was happening, the Nebraska Cowboy Poet Gathering up there, for a year or so, maybe. I don't remember. But anyway, I was doing some music up at Merriman, Nebraska, or the Bowering Ranch State Park up there. They were having a deal, and I got invited to come up and share some of my music. And after I got through, an old gravelly-voiced cowboy come up and tapped me on the shoulder and told me about the Valentine deal and invited me up to be a part of that. And I remember going up there the first year on a Friday, and I've sung cowboy songs, but I really hadn't been at a cowboy poet gathering, so I had no idea what I was getting into, and trying to figure out if I had any songs. So I didn't have any poems, but you start that. You hang around these guys, and the first thing you know, you maybe get some idea and think, well, that might be a good poem material, and then if you write something, then maybe you eventually get the urge to say, well, maybe I ought to get up and do this thing, So it's been close to 30 years, I guess. I probably got trying to do this little bit of poetry.
And RP, you've been at the poetry for a long time. 2 questions. The first one goes back to what Don was mentioning. They went ahead and had the event in the COVID years, but I know that slowed you down a little bit from some of the engagements that you normally were involved in. Are you back up to full speed?
Oh, in the world of entertainment, I don't know that you ever go back to where you once thought you were at, but it's good, and we've got things going on at home and grandkids, and I don't need to be gone as much as I once was.
Sure.
It's picking back up a little bit, and you sure enjoy it when you're doing it, but when you're not doing it, there's always something else going on. I'm really blessed to have 2 jobs that I really like.
There you go. And how long have you been? Maybe you can remember your first time you got up in front of people.
Well, I credit the first time as Valentine, but that's a little bit of a fib, because you guys hosted a thing called Corn Fest in the square, and I did 1 poem or 2 poems at that before going up to Valentine, just to kind of get my feet wet. So I guess I'd have to credit the event that you were hosting in the city square in Broken Bow was the first time I shared anything.
Yeah, I think that was something we worked with the Chamber of Commerce that year, and it was in the fall of the year.
It was, well, the first gathering at Valentine would have been the first week in October, so that would have been toward the tail end of September 31 years ago. So
wow. Flies by
it does,
fast, doesn't it?
I've got a question for you, RP. People ask me all the time, how many games have you called? And I'm like, I have no idea.
I would give the same answer.
How many poems have you written? Do you have any
idea? I suppose a couple hundred probably. Yeah. And as far as how many times I've had a chance to perform them, I don't know. It'd be quite a few. We were talking about the connections you make with other performers. You also, there's been events where I was asked to perform at, and I used to be able better at writing one for a specific event, and the relationships you come up with the people that are subjects are amazing and carry on for generations also. And then on occasion I've written a poem that I didn't expect the inspiration to ever know about, and that's generally worked out better than I thought it would too. So.
Yeah. Have you ever co-written?
Don and I did one together that is a pretty good poem. It's just not one I ever really got in my repertoire. Maybe Don has it memorized. It's a good poem, but he even kind of counted line for line who came up with what, and it was pretty much a dead heat. So it's kind of a neat thing.
Nice.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of interesting when you're mixing things together.
It was fun. I don't know why we don't do that more often.
Yeah. Well, time again, I suppose, right? Yeah. So this event is a fundraiser that you've done for 17 years, music and poetry. And speaking of a reunion for not only the performers, the people who come to the event, I'm sure feel like family when you had it 17 times and you have some of the same people come back to see it.
They do, yeah. You get to know people who just enjoy this type of entertainment, and they come back. And I don't know if it's any indication of what our crowd's going to be this year, but I've gotten phone calls from Iowa, from Alliance, some other calls from around the area of people wanting to know, sure when it was and not wanting to miss it. And yeah, it's been good. Our church got into a Samaritan's, what's called a Samaritan's Purse ministry. That's Samaritan's Purse is, I guess the head of that is Franklin Graham, who is Billy Graham, one of Billy Graham's sons, and they've got a huge ministry worldwide in a lot of areas. And for instance, they moved into whether it was in the Ukraine or in Poland right next to it, with a whole hospital set up. Oh. They can take a whole hospital set up. I don't know how many of those they've got, but they can move in and set up a complete medical care facility for situations like that. So they're a huge ministry, and they started doing these shoeboxes that go to countries where folks tend to be more needy and kids may not get a Christmas present, you know. And so I thought about bringing a Christmas box. They've started making their own boxes. They used to start with just you come up with your own shoe boxes, you know, and then you get all different sizes, of course. And so they started producing a box that's red and green, pretty colorful, looks Christmassy, and so you just pack those items, or those boxes with items that you think that kids might need, and they've got it set up where you can either give boy or girl, and then different age groups. And so I pack boxes always for the older boys, which is ages 10 through 14 on this deal, and then they got a label you put on them and check which age and so forth it's for. And so that's what I've always done, is just pack for them. So anyway, we'll put together 300 or 400, maybe 500. We've done 500 before, but we kind of slacked off. So I'm trying to encourage us to send 500 of those out, and then they'll be picked up and at a drop point that we'll take them to, and then they usually go to Denver, in which they're kind of, I'm not sure, sorted and decided where they're going to go, and we don't know for sure where they're going to go. But anyway, it's a good ministry, and the Cowboy Poet thing, and they kind of come together at some point when they decided we had some extra pies to sell. And then now the pie auction is one of the bigger parts of what we do. And so then that all goes to the ministry.
It's just the shipping that this covers. I mean, the donations are still, the boxes are still from your congregation.
Yeah, it costs $10 a box for shipping on these, and so usually we hope that the pie thing covers those, and it has, and usually gives a little extra over for the purchase of the items as well. But most of the items are purchased by individuals.
Right, and are the pies sold throughout the event, or is it the grand finale, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's after the evening show that we have, and we start the pie auction, and there'll be people who, well, there's some ladies that come down from Mullen every year, and they've just been about as faithful as anybody, and they enjoy the whole day. But they stay because they just have such a ball at this pie auction. I don't know if they buy pies, but they sure like to watch it. And so, yeah, it's kind of a fun thing, too, as well. And
sure.
Little competition.
When the Rich brothers get to arguing over the same pie, it gets pretty wild.
Yeah.
They're pretty dedicated pie eaters.
Well, nothing better than a good pie, but you remember maybe one of the times one sold, maybe the highest one that sold in your memory?
Well, we had a sour cream raisin pie that I think went around 1,300.
Oh my God!
Wow!
And one guy, his wife made it, and he was instructed to buy it. And I think another guy found that out.
Oh.
And yeah,
bid him up a little bit.
Pretty rivaled competition there for that.
Man, I was thinking maybe $300-400, but yeah, that's amazing.
There's never been a demand for a recount, but some of them are a little questionable at times.
I bet. Well, it's a great cause, a good time had by all. What time does that start again, Don?
That'll be at 1 o'clock Saturday.
All right.
And it'll go through the afternoon, and then we have the youth do a supper. That's what I call a donation price supper. There's no charge there's no charge to come to this event. You know, we don't sell tickets or anything like that. And as far as there's no set cost on what the meal is, if people want to donate to the gathering or whatever, and most people know what it's for, and so it's a donation price supper. And then we come back then around 7 o'clock in the evening, and we'll have our featured performers do about an hour-and-a-half show, and then we'll get to the pie auction. And then the next day we'll have our regular church service, but it'll be Cowboy Venue Church. We could just call it Cowboy Church, and several of the entertainers from Saturday will usually stay over and help us with the church service.
Okay.
Yep.
Big weekend.
Then we don't know what to do when church is over. We just eat again, you know. We have a regular potluck dinner on the first Sunday of the month, and so it just works pretty good to get everybody fed again.
Eating and playing music and poetry for a couple days, really.
You can't beat it.
Yeah. So, Brent, we would be disappointed if these guys didn't give us a sample, wouldn't we?
I would think so. I was going to ask the question. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do we have a poem that we can share?
I suppose I could give my harvest safety message that was inspired by a local person here, and he's gone now, but I had the privilege of not only sharing this poem at his 75th birthday, but also at his funeral, so I guess they must have liked it. From what I hear, in the fall of the year, farmers often hurry, a race to win, get the harvest in, or contend with nature's fury. The trucks with fuel to help well-schooled, they would soon be on their way, but a dog with a habit of chasing rabbits soon sent all plans astray. The end of the chase found a rabbit in place, in a pipe used for irrigation. The dog raised a fuss, and the farmer did cuss his unneeded irritation. Now it should be stated this pipe was gated. On said gates the dog did chew, much to the alarm of the man with the farm and his harvest crew. Get the rabbit out, the farmer did shout. Distressed by this delay, the combine was running, the engine a gun, and they must be on their way. With the bar they did bang, and them rabbit ears rang, but he stayed fast in his retreat. This raised farmer's ire, then piqued his desire to loose rabbit from his seat. The next laid plan involved a gasoline can, emptied into the pipe through a gate. It was hoped the strong smell would bend Bunny's will and dismiss him before it got late. Now there is no persuading a rabbit evading the jaws of a slobbering hound, though the smell was a fright that Bunny sat tight until the farmer's new plan was found. In this man's defense, a thought might make sense when spawned in the heat of a battle, but when it's carried out, it would not make you doubt his head could be used for a rattle. The plan that did hatch involved a match, dropped in through a hole in the pipe. As the match left his hand, he would soon understand the problem with a plot of this type, 'cause it was up and away as Bunny Flambe from the end of the pipe was a-leavin', while a fumigated hound with nose singed all around gave up on roast rabbit retrievin'. But farmer and crew down the Bunny trail flew, stomping fires like Smokey the Bear, shouting colorful names while extinguishing flames ignited by smoldering hair. The rest of the day spent wondering where Thumper went. Would he hole up in machine shed or barn? And it wasn't no joke when I asked, "Do you smell smoke?" 'cause we come to the end of our yarn. The moral of my tale you'll find without fail may save you from much grief and worry. Always beware of singeing your hair when lighting your pipe in a hurry.
Wonderful.
That's great. That's great. We should remind folks, too, before we go to Don, that if you enjoyed that, RP has a Sunday program on KCNI that we have Sunday mornings, and you're on KRVN as well, I believe.
Yeah. So. But the local sponsors for the KCNI here are ones you lined up, the Govia Brothers Funeral Home and the Arnold Mullen Funeral Home, and so on occasion I have to do an untimely death poem to keep my sponsors happy, but I really appreciate them letting me be a part of it. So thanks to my sponsors.
You bet. Thanks to them, and thanks to you for taking the time every week to make that available with folks on Sunday mornings. I think they really enjoy it.
Well, we're up over 1,000 editions of that, so we've been to that for a while now too. So.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing. Don, every time I think about your music, I think about the Seed Corn Salesman song. That always kind of rings a bell when you put that CD out. And a while back you put some, was it a Christmas CD out?
Well, yeah, that's been out a while. Got a gospel one out now. I think the only place they might be available in town besides me is at the historical.
At the museum?
Museum there. So folks are looking for that. I had a guy the other day ask me, and I said, well, check there. They're supposed to have some. So
I think we have a copy of that over on the other side that we got when you released that. So we're not going to do music, but do you have a poem for us?
Well, I could share something. I got thinking while RP was sharing his, and in fact, as I was thinking about this before we came in, that a lot of people may be not familiar with cowboy poetry. It's hard to believe that most everybody around this area is not, somewhat anyway, but a lot of people can't imagine how many different poems you could do about cows and horses, and ranching and whatnot. But so that's an example. The poem RP shared, is just poetry done by cowboys from a cowboy perspective, I guess, but seeing things. And so is this one I'm going to share with you that I call, Bert and the Snake Fight is, I guess, what I would kind of call it, or if you like a more sophisticated name, it might be called Reprieve. But this is a true story.
Okay.
And it was told to me by a friend of mine, and I kind of worked it into a poem, and it's one of the very first ones that I ever did, and as a poem at Valentine or wherever. But anyway, we'll see if we can get this thing done. Now, old Bert, he hated snakes with a passion you'd admire. Seldom did he miss a chance to do one in. Now, I don't know if he'd been snake bit or just remembered from the Bible the part that serpent had in causing sin. He was a good old country boy, dependable and true, and his job was toting mail, RFD. While out on his appointed rounds one warm day late in spring, he saw a sight few people ever see. There in the shallow powdered dust of a sleepy country lane was a scene that made the hair on his neck raise. For there, locked in mortal combat in the middle of the road, were two snakes, and Bert abruptly hit the brakes. This duel between two reptiles was a thing he'd never seen. Bert knew he couldn't tear himself away. Now, it was not his custom to neglect his postal duties, but the mail may be a little late today. One reptilian combatant was a deadly rattlesnake. No one could miss that chilling, telltale sound. His opponent was a large bull snake, known both far and wide as the best rodent killer anywhere around. He watched in rapt astonishment as the battle fiercely raged, and it was obvious that neither would retreat, as nose to nose and fang to fang they fought with hiss and rattle sound, and lucky Bert, he had the only seat. Time and time again the deadly rattler raised to strike, but his enemy proved much too quick and smart, for the wily bull snake seemed to know just when to dodge and sway, and each lunge the viper made would miss its mark. Then suddenly with lightning speed the bull snake made its move, as in the dust they twisted and coiled and rolled. He somehow threw a serpentine half Nelson on his foe, and he slid into a deadly stranglehold. Well, it all ended much more quickly than old Bert had thought it could, and he wasn't sure he'd seen what he had seen, for that most feared of prairie reptiles lay dead upon the road, no more to be a threat to man or beast. Well, now old Bert couldn't wait to finish his deliveries and get to the cafe back in town. For when the local chapter of the Storytellers met today, without a doubt he'd win, hands down. Well, sure enough, he was the envy of everyone that day. As he told it, no one stirred from where they sat, until one of them remembered how old Bert hated snakes, and he said, "Bert, I bet you killed a bull snake after that." "No, sir," Bert said, "I didn't. I sort of figured that he deserved a break. But I told him when I left that the next time I saw him, he best be killing another rattlesnake."
Yes.
Those are two great poems, guys.
The thing I learned about that after I wrote it was that Bert had had a brother as a kid that had been snake bit and died.
I'll be darned.
So I guess he came by his hatred of snakes kind of honestly.
Wow. Wow, those are great, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, well, thanks for letting us come in and talk about this deal, and hope folks can take a little time and come on over.
All right. Well, you don't have to wait for next year to come around. If you guys want to come back sometime and give us a call, and we'll set a time up and hear some more poems. Always enjoy seeing you guys.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. We'll take a time out with these words on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
If you're buying or selling used equipment and trucks, look no further than PurpleWave.com. We offer a wide selection of skid steers, dozers, loaders, backhoes, trucks, and more. Items are added daily to our regularly scheduled auctions, where everything sells to the highest bidders. Bidding is easy, so get started today. Visit PurpleWave.com. Straight, simple, sold.
Recover your health. If you are suffering from an illness, surgery, or injury, Team Physical Therapy can get you back on your feet again with today's most advanced physical therapy treatments. 872-5111. Our highly trained physical therapists evaluate and treat a wide range of physical conditions. Team Physical Therapy is committed to a timely and effective recovery for each of our patients. Call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111 or check us out on the web at myteampt.com.
Your farm, your way.
That's how it should be for all decisions on your operation, including carbon farming. With more qualifying practices, Carbon by Indigo makes it easier to earn income from credits for carbon farming practices you recently started or are considering. Plus, Indigo provides free agronomic resources and expert insights to help you choose what's right for your operation, supporting you as you work to increase your payments. Tom Cannon, who grows corn, soybeans, and wheat, enrolled with Carbon by Indigo in 2020. He says carbon farming can work anywhere.
It does take local knowledge. I think Indigo's been amazing at doing that. Some of the tools that they have been really, really good at helping people to see different practices, where they're working, where maybe they're not working as well.
Farm your way and get paid in cash. See what your carbon farming earning potential could be in less than a minute at indigoag.com/radio. Terms and conditions apply. See program agreement for details.
Well, I got a woman mean as she can be.
Oh, nobody like Roy Orbison.
No.
Never replace that guy.
Yeah.
Again, thanks to R.P. Smith and Don Shada for dropping by to promote their event this weekend, this Saturday and Sunday at the church in Comstock. Poetry, music, and a lot of food.
Yes.
And pies.
Uh-huh. Good combination.
Yep. Sure, they'd love to have you there. Let's see here. Oh! Christmas. We've been talking Christmas a lot today.
We have a little bit, yeah.
So let's talk about Cozad. They're getting a good start on Christmas celebration. Mingle on the Meridian, and you can shop Cozad starting November 5th, this Saturday, and also the 26th. You can shop on Small Saturday, December 3rd, Old Fashioned Christmas, and December 5th, the Winter Wonderland Parade and sales around town. And make plans to attend the holiday season in Cozad. They got something going on starting this weekend and every weekend. Free movie for the kids, coupons for the month of November, and a chance to win Cozad Cash Bucks. So they are inviting everyone within the sound of our voice to shop Cozad. Stop by. They go all out for Christmas in Cozad. If you'd like more information, contact the Cozad Chamber at 308-784-3930. That's 308-784-3930 for information. And again, this Saturday, that free matinee at 1:30 for the kids at the Fox Theater. So that's happening in Cozad.
Let's tell you what's showing at the movies at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. Want to begin by telling you of a special presentation that will be shown tonight at 7 o'clock. And they're going to be showing Mother Teresa, No Greater Love. That'll be shown tonight at the Fox Theater, 7 o'clock showtime. So take note of that. Also still showing at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow, Ticket to Paradise, starring George Clooney and Julia Roberts, rated PG-13. That is showing, as is Black Adam, starring The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, the latest DC Comics superhero movie, showing at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. And then as we go in, well, first off, let me just quickly mention Halloween Ends. If you haven't seen it yet, there's one final opportunity to see it. It'll show tomorrow, and that will end its run at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. So Halloween Ends, your last chance to see it will be tomorrow night at the Fox Theater. Then as we go to Friday through the weekend, they will welcome in a new movie called The Good House, rated R, and it'll start showing Friday, run through the weekend on into next week. And they will continue to show Ticket to Paradise and also Black Adam through the weekend into next week as well. And as we take a look at some of the movies that'll be coming soon, the latest Marvel movie, a lot of anticipation for this, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is going to be showing, and I think that'll start next week. So be watching for that as it comes to the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. And that is what's showing at the movies.
All right, thank you, Brent. Thank you very much. Quality Senior Villages in Broken Bow believes that an active life is a nurturing experience, and at their facility, residents can thrive and live an active lifestyle. Activities can bring about a feeling of sense and self-worth and well-being. Some daily stimulating and physical activities include movies, music, crafts, games, exercise, gardening, cooking, and outings in their new outdoor area. Specialized for Alzheimer's and dementia care assisted living. Quality Senior Villages in Broken Bow. If you'd like more information about their services, call them at 872-6387.
Several job opportunities being posted for you right now on sandhillsexpress.com on the employment page. Among them, the Nebraska Department of Transportation is currently accepting applications for a highway maintenance worker in Ansley. For a full job description and to apply, we direct you to this website, statejobs.nebraska.gov. An online state application must be completed, so please go to statejobs.nebraska.gov to apply. The state of Nebraska is an equal opportunity, veterans preference employer.
Another job opportunity through Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership is for an infant, toddler, teacher, center specialist. Now, this is a 40-hour per week job, starting pay $19.18 up to $20.71 per hour. This is for the infant, toddler, teacher, center specialist position in and around Broken Bow. Starting pay, as we mentioned, very, very good with lots of benefits. And they will talk to you about that if you want to give them a call. And the number to call is 308-745-0780, extension 0, or apply online at centralnebraskacap.com. And you must have a valid driver's license, a working phone, a Child Development Associate Certificate, or an associate or bachelor's degree in early childhood education, and they prefer an experienced person with infants and toddlers. Income qualifying families will be spoken to and worked with, so you want to be comfortable with for that, and it would help too if you had some past supervisor experience. Give them a call again at 308-745-0780, extension 0, or apply online or go to Sandhills Express job page, pick up all the details there.
Continuing with the job opportunities, Lunchtime Solutions is hiring a kitchen helper and dishwasher to work in the Broken Bow School District. This is the perfect part-time position, no nights, weekends, or holidays. Join their fun-focused work environment. These positions are also eligible for a sign-on bonus. To find out more and to apply, contact or go to this website, lunchtimesolutions.com/careers. That's lunchtimesolutions.com/careers. And again, to look at all of the postings of these job opportunities we've listed for you on The Breakfast Show, we direct you to sandhillsexpress.com. Just go to the employment page.
And good morning to Denise Erickson, who was wishing us a good day in our chat box this morning. I want to talk a little bit about a new website, a very important website that has been created due to some things that have happened here in our area. A lot of times, we catch the news, we talk about other places where they have depression and suicide. We have it right here, as we all know. So they put together a website. It's mhpcc.org. That's mhpcc.org. This is put together to help people be aware of mental health and the importance of reaching out when needed. If you're struggling alone, or you know somebody else that's struggling and needs help, this website is a resource for people who can help you in this area. And the numbers are staggering. Mental illness affects 19% of the adult population. 46% of those are teenagers, and 13% of children each year struggle with their mental health. Might be in your family, might be next door, could be somebody at work or in church. The site again is mhpcc.org. mhpcc.org.
Hey, it's important to insure your home, your family, and your possessions, but if you're in business, it's important to insure it. Ask Universal Insurance in Broken Bow about getting the right coverage for your business. They have a wide knowledge base and catalog of information to help your business, from HR to OSHA availability to other features that will play a key role in your business success on the insurance side. Talk to Universal Insurance in Broken Bow on how they can help you. Call 872-6438. You can also visit them at 940 South East Street in Broken Bow.
All right, big thank you to Ryan Anderson with the Garden Center for coming in today. And, of course, a big thank you to Caitlin and Becky from Custer Federal, and the guys just left, Don Shada and R.P. Smith. Really enjoyed that as well. Those were our guests. Look forward to more coming in tomorrow on a Thursday. And I think we've got our job done today, Brent.
Yeah, do remind you, as far as a programming note, we'll have Nebraska women's volleyball on the radio for you tonight, courtesy of the Huskers Radio Network. Nebraska taking on Indiana, I believe it is, tonight. Airtime at 7:30, match time at around 8. That'll be tonight on KBBN 95.3 FM.
And football on Friday.
Yes, looking forward to going over to Sumner. SEM is in the quarterfinals of the six-man football playoffs. They will take on Shelton. Look forward to covering that game for you. Kickoff is at 6:30, and you'll be able to listen to it live Friday evening on KBBN 95.3 FM, also on the web at kbbn.com.
And the Huskers will be featured on Saturday. That's an early game as well.
Early game, yep. Kickoff against Minnesota, 11 a.m. Pre-game coverage will start at 9, also on KBBN Radio.
Thanks, neighbor.
You bet, neighbor.
Good friend, co-host, and, well, I won't even go that far today.
Oh, okay.
Since I didn't get promised for a Christmas tree, I'm going to kind of back off a little bit.
All right.